Go and tell them your name, man.
My name's Chance, otherwise known as Lucky, and a couple other probably names.
Now, Chance, you and I sat down and told a little bit of your story in Kentucky, so we ain't gonna recap. But
Right.
you know, therapy's a thing right now, and you have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
More than I do, man. What's the one thing that you think most men are struggling with now, man?
Being able to be vulnerable around each other. We're taught the opposite of that our whole life. You know, it's we're taught to be big, strong men that, you know, carry everything on our shoulders, that do everything, accomplish everything. And sometimes we all fail, you know, and it's hard to know who you can confide in without them overly judging you or telling you, hey, man, that guy's a pussy, I'm not going to talk to him no more, and whatever. But, you know, when you find a true friend or when you find somebody who you really trust and confide in, you can have those conversations and rely on that person to build you up. But there's not a lot of that out there, honestly.
And what is it that you look for in a friend? And, you know, guys, a couple things is Chance has got perspective. He's got a life that he chooses to live. He's got a ton of things under his belt. I'm learning a ton from him and just enjoying the friendship that's growing here. And, you know, just you being consistent, man. But like I was asking Jamarcus and a few others, like, hey, what do you look for in a friend? Because I don't know that I ever was taught to be friendly personally.
Yeah. So friendship comes in stages for me, right? Like I'll be sociably a friend with a lot of people. You know, you're not going to get to know my inner workings or my inner self until we have some conversations and I realize you're genuine. That's number one for me is you have to be genuine in what you feel, what you say, and what you do. The other thing that I look for in a friend is just, are you, I mean, we can break it down to the simplest of terms. Are you kind? Are you kind to other people? Do you try to leave the place you left better than where you were? You know, people say the shopping cart mentality, you know, like if you put your shopping cart up and all that stuff, I don't really judge people on that. You should put your shopping cart up, by the way, but you know, it's one of those things where you've got to pass these, I'm not saying they're tests, but they're stages in our friendship. And I'm perfectly good keeping you as a sociable friend or a confidant or someone I can really trust. And those things come with time. Those things come with action, and they come with you and I having conversations, especially on a one-on-one. A lot of times our friends are only, you know, here, there, social, what up, you know. I think if you look at men's text conversations versus women's text conversations, it's a completely different thing, right?
100%.
You and I are fine with one-word answers, but not women. They put it all out there, you know. But we don't do that as men, and we're taught not to do that. But sometimes you need an outlet. Sometimes you need that friend that can tell you you're fucking up, you know.
I think sometimes I think anytime you have dreams, aspirations, or goals, you need a collective.
Yeah.
Of people to, I don't want to say keep you in line, but just keep you on task per se even.
Yeah. You know, you probably don't even know this about me, but I really felt for Eric the other day when he was having the back problems, because I went through that about 7 years ago after a car accident. And I went down a different path, and I told Eric my path because he is a confident friend of mine. And you know, it went down this path of, the doctors only wanted to treat the symptoms. They didn't want to fix what was wrong, you know. So at one point I was taking 37 pills a day. And there was one friend of mine, that pulled me aside and said, man, you are not the same. I want you to take a look in the mirror, and I want you to look at what you were like a year ago and what you're like now. And to this day, that is my best friend.
Yeah.
Because he had the balls to call me out.
Hey. Yeah. I think that's important, man, and I'd be very clear. I am definitely one of those kind that will say something. I don't know how to be quiet. I tell people sometimes I'm quiet until I'm not. And I'm like, you shouldn't ask me, man.
Yeah, if you don't want to know.
So I got to ask too. Have you actually ever done anything like therapy wise?
No. I did a minor in psychology in college, so. You know, I've got a little history there, but I really haven't done any professional therapy. I mean, I think if you grew up in the church, you kind of have some deacons and some ministers and things like that you know, I would kind of classify that as a therapy session, but it's always geared towards religion.
Yeah.
But, you know, as far as professionally, no, I haven't, but I've been around a lot of people that have.
And is there anything that you would say you're maybe overcoming still or working through or healing from even? Because that's kind of like the definition, which will pop up in these future videos. I'm building that out as well. But, Chance is a guy who I know is willing to tell the truth. And I think a lot of men sit down, like you just said, hey, not only is it a one-word answer through text, you can get caught up in not just being afraid, but not trusting your environment to say, hey, look, my man, this happened, this happened, this happened. You got any advice? Is there anything you could do to help? Or, you got perspective even, right? Without judgment.
Yeah.
First thing is, oh man, well, we're not gonna get in mine. I got a whole lot of stuff I'm gonna say. but is there anything that you still are working through, overcoming, or healing from?
Yeah, I mean, no one's perfect, and everybody has a past and some trauma to probably, that they're dealing with. One thing that that I deal with on a constant basis, and I kind of told you this in Kentucky about, you're like, why did you become a pilot? You don't do it for a living, you don't do that. And I was like, yeah, it's the thing that calms me, and I reminisce about everything.
Oh, so you kind of overthink and stress yourself out.
I obsess about the small things. Like even this weekend, like I sent a text to a friend of mine, and I knew my intentions were good, but I didn't know how it was received. And I thought about that 10 times over this weekend. I shouldn't have, but I did. But it's a problem of mine, right? So I've got to figure out how to deal with that and figure out how to be more confident. And honestly, like if I'm doing that, I just need to address it. I just need to say, hey, man, if any way I offended you, I'm sorry, but my intentions were this, and I just need to clear the air so that I don't, fret about that for a week.
So that means that even goes back to your friends not knowing you.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact I'm abrasive as hell. And I never think about no one's feelings when I say it, so I'm like, if you know me, I don't have that malice, I think to say things maliciously is one thing, to tell you to get off your fucking ass and be better is another.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think a lot of things that men lack too. I said this, and I'm going to do a detailed talk, but did you play sports?
Oh, yeah. And
from my understanding, what we talked about, you had a father who gave you good perspective.
Yeah.
And so we all got coached up until 18 or 19 or 20, depending on how far you took sports. And then you're just out there on your own now. No more locker room, no more conversations, no more camaraderie, no more instruction.
Yeah.
And then you had to figure it out. Well, the challenge with some men is they get into what I call, Richard DeBerry calls them, what do you call lady men? And they basically start acting like bitches, to sum it up. And it's partly due to the fact there's no one breathing, telling you like, fucking do better, right?
Yeah.
I don't imagine that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady had the best conversations at times.
Yeah.
Because we got to win. And if you're fucking up, you're fucking up. So you go, that coach, I think, is super important. The word nowadays is, hey, get you a mentor, right?
Yeah.
Get you a mentor. So I do hope, and I understand where you're coming from as well, because I've been there before. I tried it for like 2 seconds. I told my true story. If Rich was over here, my buddy Rich, I said, Rich, I'm gonna try to do something like, what did I say? He said, what, you about to be nice to people or something?
That's different.
And the way he said it, I was like, yeah, fuck that. I said, that sounds stressful.
Right.
So I'll let it go, man. Well, if there was one thing or anything you'd want people to know about you, man, and again, guys, this is an individual you'll see a lot on this channel. As long as he's alive and well, he believes in what we're doing. He's a part of the Blenderies journey, my journey, the whiskey journey that we're trying to map and create, build. What was something that you want them to know, man?
The biggest thing I just try to tell people to do is you have to just keep trying.
Yeah.
Once you stop trying, it's over. It's done. So even if you don't feel like it's working, even if you don't feel like participating, even if you don't, and trying is on several different levels for certain people. Some people have to try to get out of bed, right? Not you and I,
Yeah, no, I'm up.
If I text him at 6, matter of fact, here, you texted me at 6:30, let's go get breakfast. I'm like, okay, immediately, right? I mean, because we're up.
It's like this. I was like, once I get up there, I tried to take a little pause for 30 minutes before you. I was like, I ain't gonna work, because I just like, my body says, get up.
Right. So trying is different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
But you have to keep putting forth that effort. You have to keep one step in front of the other and just keep moving. Even if you feel like it's not working, just keep doing it and keep going towards your goals. And that's the other thing is, like, you have to set goals. You have to be self-accountable. You're talking about the team mentality, right? We had a purpose. when we were a team, right? We had a reason to go out there and play football. We had a reason to do our nutrition or our weight room and things like that, right? Now we have to do it on our own because there's no one counting on us except us, right?
But you know what? I think there's a way to build team, and I think you're going to be one of the people that helps me draw that perspective because, as I said, when Tim said, "What are you doing over there with Chance?" or he's like, "What?" I said, "Chance said he's willing to help, so."
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna keep doing videos with him till I get me some clear perspective, you know.
Man, if someone is willing to challenge me, and I think you do, I'm always willing to participate in that. I think that I think I can only become better from that.
100%.
And I hope I have something to offer you along the way as well.
100%. I've always said this, and for one, gratitude. Well, my grandfather. Gratitude's the highest form of humanity, man. My grandfather taught me that as a kid, and you know, what's funny is here I am, almost 40, and I'm just now learning that. Just now learning the power of it, right? So super grateful for the exchange and you showing up and cracking things and learning and leading, man. You know, I think sometimes people think they got to be the leader, but, you know, Chance is a running back in my case. Because when Scott called last night or this morning, he said, I'm still teasing that stuff Chance said. and, you know, I'm like a good coach because I can organize how the social media side of it works. But I'm never going to be Brady when it comes to throwing a touchdown relative to whiskey. You've got 10 plus years experience on whiskey. I can make it make sense, but I'm better when we're all together.
We'll get you there. Your learning curve is steep, but we'll get you there.
Hey, believe me, I am only here to learn and definitely here to serve. And it's because of guys like you keep showing up. There's, you know, it makes it easy, man. It makes it easy. And so I'm excited about what's to come as we keep on, you know, telling this story, to say the least. And one of my favorite documentaries is the 10 documentaries that exist from Ali.
Yep.
You go, how many ways can you tell Ali's story? Depends on where you're sitting, right?
Yeah.
So you say, man, Chance, how many ways can we tell Chance's story? We go, depends on who's watching and what position you're in at the time.
Perspective and how you relate to it, right? It's one of those things.
Guys, listen, man, thanks, Chance, for sitting down. Whiskey therapy is a thing, guys. Keep it whiskey.
Thanks, guys.